Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Murder Corner, where we set Furbies on fire and we throw them at random strangers. Today, I'll be going over this piece. It's called Over It, and it's just about that feeling of being done and just being over the nonsense and not wanting to put up with it anymore. It's kind of a general concept that we can all relate to in different ways, whether it's your job, whether it's just day to day life, whether it's having to come up with rent and not being able to make it, which is relatable. Uh, it's just being over it and being fed up. Um, so I just start with a basic skull. I'm kind of just playing around at this point. I kind of picked out the main color palette. Like I want it to be this pink against this blue, and I'm just laying stuff down. Uh, I was actually thinking recently, I'm definitely going to have to come up with things other than just the art to talk about if I want to continue doing this show. Um, there's only so much I can say about this process. Like, a lot of it's going to be very similar. A lot of it's going to be repetitive if I try to talk about the process I'm using every time, because there's only so much you can say, and uh, there's only so much I can teach you about it. I actually think there's a lot better teachers on the internet. Most of what I learned came from YouTube in the first place. So if I just sit here and repeat the things I learned, then it's really repetitive. And a lot of those channels I feel are like more charismatic than I am. So I'm like, well, just go watch them if you want to learn. So I do kind of feel like it has to be some kind of entertainment. And so I have to figure out a way just to talk, just to make it fun, which is a little hard because I am a very boring person and I don't do much other than work. Like, all I ever do is make art, and you see most of my thoughts on Twitter already. So, it's like, well, what else can I bring to you two? So, I'm gonna be figuring that out. I'll make it happen, I'll make it work. If you want, leave a comment below or on Twitter and just let me know like what you guys want me to talk about. Uh, I'm willing and open to talk about most things. Obviously, there's limits, but I would love to know what you guys want from this show. So, and hopefully later down the line, I can do more stuff. Maybe some more experimental stuff aside from just voiceovers. We'll see what happens and like if I can gain any traction. Hopefully, people watch these and enjoy them, and I can continue making them because they're actually pretty fun to make. Um, so pertaining to the drawing, I'm still just figuring things out, figuring out the composition. Uh, I kind of struggled right around here actually. I was trying to have this piece out by Tuesday, and I just kind of couldn't get it done. I spent a long time like trying to figure out what else I wanted in this piece, and I couldn't figure it out. So finally, I just decided, well, you know what? I'll just finish this one tomorrow. Like, it's not worth trying to force something out for Tezos Tuesday and it not being of quality. So I put it down and I picked it up the next day, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm glad I waited the extra day. It made a difference. Um, but yeah, I'm just creating something that I love. I think that's really important. Is It's so important to be your biggest fan when you're creating. Uh, like all these little characters, all these little things, they're reminiscent of cartoons I love and things that have inspired me in my journey. And I think that's like really step one is trying to create something that you personally love. Because if you love it, then people will look at it and they'll also love it. Uh, People have this craving to connect with people. Like, we all want to connect with other people. And a great way to do that is through art because it's like a connection that you can't normally make with people, but you can learn so much from it. And you see someone's art, and immediately you kind of get a sense for what their inspirations were and what pushes this person to create. And like that's the biggest draw into art, at least to me personally, is just looking at something and recognizing, oh, this is inspired by this, and this person probably likes this, and you get this like connection that is something. It's like hard to even say what it is. It's just a very human, very instinctual connection of, yes, I understand that picture. And that's really what we're going for. Like, if you create something that is very personal to you and is very driven by your own passions, then other people will feel that and they'll relate to it. And I think that's how the greatest artists have lasted so long, is they've all created something that culturally everyone looked at and they felt something. So that's the ultimate goal of this, is just to try to make people feel, just to try to make people see your art and say, I understand this, this connects with me. So anyway, I put in the texture layer. If anyone doesn't know, I just copy a texture. You can like look them up. There's like a brush set from Procreate. If you just look up Procreate brushes on the App Store and download that, there's like a whole list of textures that they have for free, and you can subscribe to their thing and get a bunch of brushes as well. It's really cool. But I just pull the texture from there, copy it, and then paste it on the top layer, which I use as the foreground in the animation. And then I set that layer to multiply, and it kind of puts like an overlay on it. And then I just kind of finish up. I start thinking of other things to say that are related to this thought of being disaffected and being over it. And so I'm writing up there at the top, never give in, never stop fighting, because no matter how hard things get, and no matter how tired you are of the monotony, you have to keep pushing. The only way you're ever gonna find your true passion and your true happiness in life is to continue to push and to try. And no matter how hard it gets, you have to keep fighting for it. So yeah, that's the piece. I I don't really have anything else to say. You guys are the best. Bye.